Texas Congressman Troy Nehls believes that America should be able to choose how their hard-earned tax dollars are spent. One America's John Hines has more.
Sir, I wanted to ask you about some legislation that you have introduced, and it's got a very, very positive reception. If it becomes law, your Spend It at Home Act could stop trillions of dollars from going overseas. It would enable taxpayers to decide whether they want their money shelled out to projects within the U.S. or abroad. Tell us about that. How does it work?
Well, what you saw here over the last couple of weeks with all these supplemental spending packages, I mean, we've given, what, $90 billion to everybody across the globe, other than giving a nickel. There wasn't a nickel in of it to secure our own southern border. We gave millions of dollars in that legislation to help Ukraine's border, but we did nothing for ours. So I think it's important that if, the taxpayer, the American taxpayer that works so hard each and every day to try to make a living and raise their families, I think the American taxpayer, we should know, we meaning Congress, up here, the executive branch, we should know how the American taxpayer feels about their tax dollars, their federal tax dollars. So I just want to put it on the forum. If you're going to get your taxes done by H&R Block, long-term, long form, short form, whatever it is, I think on that document it should say, do you want to see your tax dollars, remain here domestically or internationally? And then report back to us in a year. The IRS should report back to us in a year how the American taxpayer feels about where their hard-earned tax dollars go.
So presumably this would be like a box you could check off on the bottom. Is that it?
Absolutely.
Now, how would that have come into play with the Ukraine aid, the aid to Ukraine, which I know was unpopular with some of you and some of your colleagues, right?
Yes.
So now, could somebody have said with regard to Ukraine aid, I want it going domestically, not foreign?
Well, I just think whatever amount of money they're paying on their federal income tax, where do they want to see that federal income tax go to? Do they want to see it spent here in the United States of America, or do they want to see it spent overseas and given to countries that we shouldn't be getting in some of these conflicts that we're involved with? And we've given hundreds of billions of dollars away to Ukraine, and that's a loser. It's a loser. If you saw just recently now, Russia taking more space over there and seem to be overrunning the Ukrainian army in their lines. So I just think it's a loser, and I think we have a responsibility. We, again, meaning Congress, should have a responsibility to know how the average taxpayer feels. Do they want that $800 or $80 billion, $90 billion? Would they like to see that money spent here with the numerous issues that we have in our country, whether it's our own porous southern border, or whether it's the mental health of the American people, or whether it's the crime taking place, the inflation, all of it? We could use that money right here to make America great again. And I just think a taxpayer has a right to express their true feelings on, do you want to see your money go domestically or internationally?
So where did the inspiration for this come from, for instance, your constituents, a conversation with your colleagues, or how did this idea come about? What was the genesis of it?
People talking about it each and every day. When I'm back in the district, they're saying, you guys are spending a lot of money, but why are we spending money on foreign nations' borders and not spending any money to secure our own southern border? I said, well, you can thank the Biden administration for that and that real smart, intelligent border czar we have with the vice president. So I think that it was accumulation of just conversations I've had with people. And I said, where do you want your tax dollars to go? Well, why aren't we spending it in our country? John, we know our country could use some help here. We've got a crisis on every corner. But yet we're willing to give supplemental aid packages upwards of $80, $90 billion to foreign countries. Well, what about America?
Congressman Troy Nehls, thank you very much for talking to us on Weekly Briefing, sir.
You bet.
It's a pleasure.
Yep.
For all our viewers,